All right, so who was Janis Joplin? Welcome to this week's Death in Music. You're here with your hosts, Robert and Ellie. And yeah, man. So how'd you feel about Janis Joplin, dude, after all you went through?
Shit. You know what? I had never listened to her fucking music, dude. Pretty soulful ass female, man.
Yeah, dude, same here.
That was something.
It's Amy Winehouse all over again, dude. She's a big screamer, dude. She's a big fucking wailer on the way she sings, dude. Like, you can feel the pain in her goddamn voice, dude.
Yeah, man. I remember like when I was like in middle school, I went through the whole 70s genres of music, you know, 60s, 70s. It was like all about Kiss and Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and all that shit.
Right.
And there used to be people that were into Janis Joplin. And I was like, you guys are fucking gay.
You know what, though?
Was I wrong?
No, but you know what? She's actually like on par with like kind of like Jimi Hendrix. Like, she came up at one of the same festivals. They died like a couple weeks apart, like at the same age. Like, yeah, there's just something really interesting, dude. Like, I think there's a big parallel going on right there. Like, one you kind of can't get away from. That shit's crazy.
And the man that fell madly in love with her died at 27 too.
And who's that? Which one is that?
Jim Morrison.
Oh, did Jim Morrison fall in love with Janis Joplin?
After she knocked his ass out with a fucking bottle of, I think, Southern Comfort.
It had to be Southern Comfort. That was her drink, dude. She fucking loves Southern Comfort.
Yeah, she broke that shit on his head. Dude, she loved the shit so much that they gave her like a minx coat.
Right.
Just for drinking that shit so much. For bringing up the sales on that.
They like sponsored her drinking. She was born Janis Lynn Joplin. She was born January 19th, 1943 in Port Arthur, Texas, U.S., which was like kind of it wasn't the like liberal bastion that Texas is now. Like, I don't know how serious I am about that.
Yeah, well, now it's like they got a South by Southwest and all this shit.
Yeah, now they have the city of Austin, right? Like, so at least they're getting some culture,
Austin City
I guess.
Limits.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Austin City Limits. Oh man, there's actually some great shit that happens in Texas now. But I guess when she was I guess when she was a kid though, like the fucking KKK was over in Fort Austin and shit, dude. Like,
well, yeah, she let's kind of jump into her. She was an awkward kid.
Oh yeah, very much so.
She wasn't popular.
Yeah, let's move over there because this is Port. What did I say it was? Port. What is it called? Port Arthur. There you go.
Port Arthur.
Yeah. So she was an awkward kid. As you were saying.
A lot of acne, weight issues.
Yeah, dude, and like didn't fit in anywhere she went. You know, like. And the sad part is a lot of it is because she respected black people and there was like a huge KKK presence in her town. And so a lot of kids in school picked on her. Yeah. But yeah, she was picked on. Yeah, she was picked on for basically being against, for being into integration, thinking integration was the way to go. That made her a liberal hippie for the time.
Well, you know who her fucking influences are, man? You got Billie Holiday, you got Leadbelly, you got
she also had said Aretha Franklin.
A bunch, and they're all like fucking black soulful singers, you know, blues singers at that and shit. She that's pretty fucking badass.
Once she started actually to get her shit off the ground, she stole a bunch of like her style from Otis Redding because like she saw Otis Redding getting down and the way he got down. She even stole like things he would say, like he had this like oh yeah thing he would do through his whole songs, and she straight lifted it, dude, like carbon copied it, like you know, just another white musician stealing from the black man.
Bessie Smith was one of her biggest influences, and she paid for her tombstone because I mean,
oh yeah, that's right.
Shit, you know,
that's right. Stone. I read that story. Yeah, and like I hear she got her checkbook out immediately, like no questions asked, and just like wrote the check for the headstone.
You know who else did that though? Clapton did that, I think, for like Howlin' Wolf.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, there's a couple of badass fucking blues musicians who never got there. Who they ended up with nothing, and you know.
Oh yeah,
the music still lives on, and the ones who appreciated them still honor them and pay tribute to them.
Yeah, it's sad, dude. So, like, as a musician, you could just die completely broke, dude. Even if you do everything right.
Yeah, man. You ever seen the movie Sugar Man?
No.
In Search of Sugar Man.
What's that about?
Check that shit out. And a badass documentary.
Yeah.
It's about this dude named I don't know, but Sugar Man, dude. Just check it out. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's badass. The music is badass in that movie. Yeah, it's a crazy story. Watch it and then let me know what you think about that.
Yeah, definitely. She was born in Texas. It's not exactly like super liberal. I was thinking today how, ironically, if she were born in California, I don't think she ever would have broken out, dude, because she was powered by being an outsider. You know what I mean? That like was her fuel. Like she being hated all the way up to her college years, dude, and having like men like constantly leave her and not being able to find a romantic relationship with like the right person, like was her fuel, right? I almost feel like if she started in the liberal bastion of Los Angeles or San Francisco, she would have never been tortured enough to become this like fucking like gritty blues singer, you know?
Little piece of my heart, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Man, she was really talented. She was great.
I mean, we got the Doors from LA. That motherfucker's weird.
Yeah, that goes
with Jim Morrison. I think musically they were fucking just on point. Yeah. Because you said, but I guess it's different because she having to be a woman in the '60s, in that like really, it was rock and roll, so it was really male dominated. Yeah,
true.
I see where that at.
Yeah, because it's hard to think of like a female rock star prior to Janis Joplin. Like, I was trying to do it, and I've fallen flat. Mazzy's probably going to correct me. I mean, it depends what you consider rock star, though, you know, because rock is very, like, culturally contextual. But, like, if you think about, like, Billie Holiday, she might have been singing jazz, but, like, she did heroin to death, that's for sure. And it's, like, it's almost the exact same story, you know what I mean? Big girl gets, like, big out of nowhere based on her voice, and then her success is too much for her, and then she's crippled, you know? Like, so, I don't know if she's the first rock star, really, but officially, I think she might be.
She had a tattoo, so I think she'll go down as a rock star.
That's a good point.
She had two tattoos, you know.
Frank Zappa and Captain Beef are also from Southern California. That's true. Bullshit.
You ever get into Frank Zappa?
I downloaded like his whole discography. I couldn't get into it, but like I guess you had to be there. I almost feel like at the time. But like I downloaded a lot of his music.
You know how people, there's certain like people, right? Certain like douchey dudes who are really into Frank Zappa. I don't know if you've ever met any, but you'll hear them say like, "Oh, you just don't get it." I'm like, "Nah, I get it. I got a guitarist that's like Frank Zappa-ish in his own way, you know?"
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's for sure.
David's out there and is playing and everything, but there's just something about Frank Zappa's music that it's. I understand it. I think it's great for what it is and ahead of its time, but ain't my shit.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't get into it. I don't know. Something about it has always felt a little pretentious, but what can you do?
But you know what? Like, I also, like, I've heard a lot of his, like, I like a lot of the shit he used to say. Just musically wasn't like that.
And he also seemed to have a really cool personality, dude. Like, he seemed like a really cool guy. Mm-hmm. And I honestly, as I'm starting to go through these episodes, I'm thinking that's half of what it means to be a rock star. It's just being, like, super likable. Because Pearl right here, Miss Joplin, was very, very well loved by like everyone she ever met.
Yeah, you know, except for like fucking racist ass white kids.
Oh yeah, racist ass white kids in Texas. Like, man, it must be great. It must be great to like fucking
fucked up shit, dude.
Yeah, there's some stuff right here: pig, freak, nigger lover, and creep. Right here, just off the top of my notes. Whoa, hey, I'm saying it in context,
off the top
dude.
Of your head, huh? Off the top of your head, dude.
Off the top of my head, that's something I would call her if I were in Texas. No, but like, that's one of the things, though. Is that
knock out my mic, you know?
Oh, that would have been smart, dude. I forgot, dude. I can't say that word. And he uses the hard R and everything, dude. Bleep. But it wouldn't have been appropriate to call her a nigga lover. You know what I mean? Like, you got to put the hard R in there for it to have context.
Well, for it to be like strong in there, it's like this is what she was called.
Yeah, dude. And so,
and a creep.
So okay, one thing is it didn't stop at high school either. She went to Lamar University, and this is when she starts like really getting into like singing like as a musician. And like starting to meet a bunch of like other musicians and stuff, and I think it's around this time that she gets really heavily into meth. No, Like she goes to college, she's doing recordings. Oh, the old speedball, yeah. Well, she was really into
old speed.
She really into meth for a while, dude. That's crazy. And then like she went in and out of getting clean through a lot of her life.
Fucking talented ass people, broken people, and drugs.
Yeah, dude, that's just what it is.
She also she liked to drink.
I watched in a documentary. I don't know if it was someone from another band or her brother or someone, but they said, okay, so this thing happened when she was at university. She got voted the ugliest man at the university. That's some fucked up shit, dude.
That is pretty fucked up, right?
It's pretty bad.
But you know what? If not for all that pain, I don't think we'd have that fucking voice, man.
Yeah, because it seems like she didn't fit in with anyone, and she didn't actually start. That what I really like about her is it's a story about fitting in, dude. Like she fit in with absolutely nobody for like 20-something years of her life, and then all of a sudden she found her people in Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Like she realized she had to get the fuck out of Texas at some point.
Yeah, but even with that, there's still like some sad things about her.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
She talks about how she makes love to 25,000 people out there, and she still goes home alone.
Yeah, she seemed to be one of these people who could never find love. But I honestly think it's that she kept people at an arm's length, dude. I don't think it was a story of like unrequited love. You know, it's like, you know, she might not be a model, but she's a cute girl. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not her looks; it's her like fucking like chaotic lifestyle, dude. It's like, how are you supposed to date like a tornado? Oh, I just want to say something really quick.
Some of her pictures, and then
I hate to interrupt you, but this is my favorite. This is my favorite Janis Joplin song.
Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny actually. I just love it so much too. It's so commercial.
Is trying to find me. I wait for delivery each day until
all her friends have.
But I love the idea though of like praying to God for like commercial shit like a Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
Like, or like a drink, like all that kind of shit. I don't know. I love that song. I love almost all of her songs, dude. She's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, Ball and Chain is fucking.
Oh, dude, you've heard the album cut, right? With like the fucking like broken glass. I think it's Ball and Chain that has like in the album cut. There's in the take, someone drops a piece of glass and they sweep it up through the song, and it gets it. It makes it on the recording, and it sounds so great, dude. Like it fits so well in the song.
That's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah. So that'll probably come up at some point through the night. What were we talking about that before that? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no.
I just want to point out like what a fucking nerd like Janis Joplin was, because she carried her auto harp around with her everywhere on campus. Like, I don't think there's a nerdier thing you could have done, dude. And then she's wondering why no one falls in love with her. It's like, maybe if you put the auto harp down.
Oh, the overalls, the paint splattered shoes, the ponytail.
Exactly, dude. You know the type.
The glasses. Oh yeah, man.
One of those like art dorks, you know.
I get a hard on for them chicks, man.
Dude, so do I. I think that's the sexiest kind of girl. Like, dude, like the like stoner art girl. Like, how could you lose?
Right, with a little atheist in her.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. She got around. The only thing nerdier is that one unicycle kid.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah, she got around, dude. She was like proud of it. But yeah, the unicycle kid. I feel like that's a thing from today's hipster generation, or like Seattle, or like Portland or something. Okay,
so we go with her troubled adolescence leads to from rejection and peer groups venting. She's fucking unhappy and hurt, and she became an extrovert, became a little wild and rebellious and shit.
Yeah,
started talking a lot of shit, using the vulgar language, and like you said, it was a pretty heavily KKK area where she was at.
Right.
So she was more in like the blues areas and shit, more in the black fucking hoods.
Yeah, and it gave her the ability to sing the blues.
So everybody kind of looked at her like, fuck.
Yeah, she definitely didn't fit in anywhere, dude. Like she was not She was not a conformist. I'll say that about her. So
she found her own like little clique at that time.
Yeah. So when she's in the university, that's when she starts to actually do her first recordings. She's like apparently walking around all the time with an acoustic guitar, singing everywhere she goes. And that's when she gets hooked on methamphetamine. She goes out to San Francisco, and she actually starts to, like, out there make some level of progress. Like, she meets Bob Dylan. And she tells Bob Dylan when she's in kind of like San Francisco the first time, she tells him, "I'm going to be famous." And then he tells her, "Well, we all are." And it sounds sarcastic, right? But is
it true?
They both got really famous. Is the full name of the auto harpsichord? Because that makes sense.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, dude, you haven't seen it? It's like, okay, it's like half accordion, half harp, dude. It's like there's like keys, you press them, and then it holds the strings a certain way, and then you play it with like a pick or something. Like you could pick across it, and it'll like
what?
Yeah, and it'll like play all in a key or something. So the whole thing isn't set to a key, and it sounds really nice. But it's like the lamest instrument in the world, dude. Like I think it's even more uncool than accordion.
Hey man, accordion's fucking dope, bro. I'm into norteño.
It can be. It can be. It depends what it's in. I actually always wanted to learn to play one, dude. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's a weird instrument.
This is what she played?
She played it in what do you call it? In college. She used to carry it everywhere she went with her.
They have portable versions of these shits? Because these things are fucking humongous. Let me look up portable.
Yeah.
Because it's got nothing but fucking grand piano looking shits, man.
Well, it's like
okay, I see.
It's not that bad. It's like the size of like a small table. You could move it around, but you got to set it down somewhere.
If my daughter wanted one of these, I'd punch her for this. I'd punch her in the back of.
You're right. I hate Tom Waits, dude. We hate Tom Waits now.
Freak at school.
I know you won't. You won't be Janis Joplin. Wait a minute. So that's a terrible thing to say to someone.
So she's in
she's already in San Francisco.
She goes into. Well, she's in San Francisco in like '63, but then she started experimenting like pretty fucking heavy with meth.
Yeah. And
she started drinking a lot to return home 2 years after that, like in '65. But at this time she was already singing like in coffee houses and shit. You know, she was starting to get her little gigs going, but nothing the fucking magnitude. So this is when she goes home to kind of recover again, get back to Port Arthur, and like I guess come back to like known ground. She was weighing 88 fucking pounds at the time.
Damn.
So that's when she was heavy on that meth.
Yeah, dude, she was just doing.
And I think she might have got into meth because of the weight is shit. You know, like she was bullied for being like they used to call her pig and all kind of shit. So meth makes you lose weight.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I don't do meth.
But okay, something really quick though before she comes back to Port Arthur is that she gets basically someone engages her out there. She becomes engaged to Peter LeBlanc, and I forgot what his deal is. He's like what is he?
Peter LeBlanc.
Maybe he's just some generic dude, but he. Yeah,
because. I don't have him in my notes, to be real with you.
Well, he's the guy who he basically they were dating while they were out there, and then they get engaged, and she moves back to Port Arthur to basically get clean, and she effectively does that, and then she starts telling her family like, oh, I'm engaged to this guy, and he's sending her letters all the time, and then the letters stop coming through. And then, so she starts looking for him, and eventually she gets through and she finds him. And he's knocked some bitch up over there. Like, he's living with some woman that he knocked up, and then it's like, yeah, that marriage is not going to happen. It's like shit like that seems to haunt her life, that she never seems to find a person that she can, like, truly, like, she never finds, like, the love of her life. But I don't know. I don't think
Right. And
that goes hand in hand with being a rock star, dude. I just don't think that's the hand those people are dealt. Like, how can you pay attention?
The love?
Yeah, because how can you pay attention to someone while you're touring, right? And then how can you resist the temptation of all the drugs and alcohol? And then for a lot of these people, groupies. And that includes fucking Janis Joplin had a lot of groupies thrown at her. And like, how do you resist all that temptation and maintain a relationship through all that when relationships are hard enough to maintain when you don't have all that shit to contend with? So I just feel like you got to choose one or the other. Like,
it's either you marry your music or you marry your love.
Yeah, I think
Which
so.
is music becomes your love too.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's I see, because it's either you commit 100%, but you know what? There is a medium, man. There is a balance.
Yeah,
it's just I think that balance
can be
comes
done
out when you're fully talented and you have somebody who respects and realizes that at this moment they can't come first, but they will in the long run.
But they also got to be like at your level, I think, for that marriage to truly work, dude. Like, if you go through everyone we've done, how many people left behind a wife? Mm-hmm. Like, not Aretha, not Prince. Well, I'm sure that was by choice. Not Michael again, but like Amy Winehouse didn't really. Kurt Cobain's
she had that
wife was that piece of shit, and then the same with Kurt Cobain. He had another piece of shit love interest. Like, then if you just start going through Bob Marley, there we go. That one, he had a successful thing going.
Well,
with
Bob
that
Marley
open relationship with Rita,
had a bunch of women though.
Yeah, and so did his wife.
That's a difference.
So that goes back into the temptation thing. It's like you can't just love one person apparently when you have everyone in the world throwing themselves at you. This is just crazy to me.
But Aretha Franklin had kids, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But she also had, 2 or 3 failed marriages. So, I don't know.
Robert, nice way to rain on the
I'm just saying that, dude. Like, you make your choice. You choose between your career or love with certain careers. You know what I mean? So this guy basically, leaves her, more or less. And so that breaks her heart. But she meets someone else who takes her back to California. Do you remember who it is?
Well, first she enrolls into the University of Texas in Austin.
Yeah, okay.
And she started studying art.
Oh, wow.
It's like when she's like, all right, and she gets into the local folk scene out there.
Yeah.
You know, to continue all her shit, you know, but she starts doing drugs and starts drinking again. And she's building up this fucking reputation as like a fucking drinker, you know? And that the bitch can keep up fuckers, you know, like she can outdrink dudes.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like they saw her as this badass chick, but I feel like that's kind of what also kept dudes away from her because she was intimidating.
I don't know, dude. She was a badass. Yeah. And she was she was one of the guys. Every single person said she was one of the guys, dude. Every single one.
This is when she gets when they try to get her be recognized as the ugliest man on campus. These fucking assholes.
That's when that shit happens.
Yeah, this is when it happens.
Apparently that shit broke her heart, dude.
Yeah, that shit fucked. You know, I mean, that who wouldn't get broken over some fucked up shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
And again, I mean, don't be the weirdo with the auto harping.
That's what it is, dude. It's because she was just a big hippie, dude. And, hippies attract attention like that, dude.
Well, in Texas, especially in Austin at this time, that shit wasn't going down.
Because, the thing
California,
is...
San Francisco, go ahead.
Well, see, that's why she fit right in, dude. So what brings her to San Francisco? Something ends up bringing her to San Francisco. Because I know that guy takes her to her parents to say, you got to tell your parents you're coming with me to California or I'm not going to take you.
Chet Helms.
That's right. He's like a producer or something, no?
This is the second time around, right? He gets back in touch with her and tells her you got to come out here because she met him in the first trip to San Francisco.
Yeah.
The first time she out here, she met him and they formed some friendship or whatever. She goes back to Port what was it?
Port Arthur?
She goes back to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of her fucking drugs and everything. But then she comes back out there, and that's because of him. He calls her up, gets a hold of her, and this is when we get her back in San Francisco. Because the big brother and the holding company needed a female singer, and this is
Yeah.
Trip.
This
San
is
Francisco, 1966, around there.
yeah. So this is okay. So let's go into that. Let's go into when she starts playing with bands. That's what's the. This is that's what really sets everything off is Big Brother and the Holding Company. Big Brother and the Holding Company is the first band she plays for. She auditions for them, and that's where a lot of her like most famous songs, like "A Piece of My Heart," "Ball and Chain." They come off of albums with Big Brother and the Holding Company, and
both of those songs right there, man. Shit,
yeah,
heavy.
And I really like the art for the vinyl for Cheap Thrills. So this is where a lot of her best work comes from, and so this is like the whole track listing, dude. Like, I really like it. I really like the animation. It's pretty dope.
The for Cheap Thrills, oh yeah, that one right there, yeah,
that's
just pretty badass, right? It has a real modern look to it too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like that modern like comic-y animation style that was starting to get pretty big around like. To me, I see that style. I think more like 70s, 80s, but like it's pretty. It's like you say, it's modern.
So a little background on who Helms is. When she was like wandering around and fucking in the hippie communes and shit, she became friends with Chet Helms, and this is around '63 when he convinced her. She met him over there in Texas. He convinces her to go to San Francisco with him '63. Then again, backtracking. Not trying to backtrack too much, but we get all the fucking shit. Now it's '66. She meets up with him. This motherfucker's now the manager of Big Brother and the Holding Company. He's like a big ass player in the San Francisco music scene. He was part of the hippie commune, the Family Dog. He owned the Avalon Ballroom, which is pretty significant with a lot of the acts in San Francisco at this time. And they returned to San Francisco. And this is already San Francisco in '66. It's completely different. In a couple of years, it was a huge, like, it became the bohemian scene.
Yeah. All right, so Chet Helms.
This place, let's just build on top of it.
So Chet Helms, Haight Ashbury.
Okay.
How close are we to Big Brother and the Holding Company, to her actual audition? Is she already like touring with them by this time? Not yet, right?
Okay. Before So she joins them. As a band concert, Warlocks, the Grateful Dead were at the Vanguard. So this is the San Francisco sound.
Yeah.
Big Brother, the Warlocks, and the Grateful Dead, and other bands that were like poised out there for fucking stardom were Country Joe and the Fish, Jefferson Airplane, which I like Jefferson Airplane. They're pretty fucking.
Oh yeah, Jefferson Airplane's great. I like them.
Quicksilver Messenger Service. And then this is Big Brother. So this is when they're starting to make a name for themselves. Not a strong following, but they're getting a following.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they're playing. These are all the local bands right there. I mean, and then out of those, I mean, at least everybody's heard of fucking the Grateful Dead and Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah. Okay. So a quick aside about the Grateful Dead is that fucking Janis Joplin was dating Ron Pigpen McKernan from the Grateful Dead for a while. Like that was like a short-lived relationship. She was in a relationship with one of the guys from the Grateful Dead. I could see that. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
I also would like to mention this is just a random like thing, but one time Janis Joplin sometime around this time with Big Brother and the Holding Company, sometime around like the Monterey Festival that they play, she accidentally doses herself with like a vial of liquid LSD that was poured into a Coca-Cola can, and she thought it was Coca-Cola, and she dosed herself with like 160
Jeez.
doses of acid. Yeah, and she went into the like bathroom to like throw it up, but she was like high for days and days. So that's a fun story.
No, wait. So then, the official debut of Big Brother with Janis Joplin comes to fruition June 10th, 1966 at the Avalon. And it was an immediate hit on a local level.
Really?
Everybody just went fucking balls. Yeah, like
well,
so
didn't their first album go gold in 2 weeks? The first like Big Brother album? It's either that one or Cheap Thrills. One of them went gold in 2 weeks, dude.
Sure. I think Cheap Thrills, because that's when they already had a solid following.
Yeah, they had a following, and but Monterey Pop Festival is what put them on the fucking charts, dude. Like, they brought them back because like they were skeptical, I guess, about having to. I think you had to like pay or something to get recorded, or for some reason or another they didn't get recorded on the first day. But the audience response was so big that the people who were recording the show brought them back to play again. And then recorded it.
2 months after they start touring. Like, they hit the road pretty much right after that. Like, after they got a big buzz, they're like, fuck it, we can do this shit. They went on the road, and 2 months down the line, they're performing in Chicago. They get asked to be signed on a record contract with Mainstream Records. Small but independent company.
Yeah, that's right. That's when they start. Yeah, that's when they first signed. Shortly after that, they get signed with Columbia too, dude. Like they pretty much fly through getting signed.
Yeah, like they were like super happy that they were approached, and so they immediately went into the studio and put the first album together. It turned out to be a complete fucking disaster, though. And I guess, they're just being naive. They fell into some bullshit. It completely went the other way, They wanted... I'm guessing it's just like the fucking... like the devil that record companies are,
Oh, yeah.
We'll sign you, but you gotta... the fuck we want.
Yeah, and at that same time, if I remember correctly, Mainstream Records was even trying to get her into another band that was not as... it was either them or Columbia. I don't remember who it was, but someone tried to get her out of Big Brother and the holding company. Was like, you don't want to be doing this rock and roll thing forever. You want to be doing something more poppy. You have such a good voice. And, like, for some reason or another, that fell through. And then it's like, thank God it did, because, like, she would have taken a totally different path.
Well, what happened was... like I'm reading right here, like their sessions were all rushed, and they were like super underfinanced. They delayed the album's release for almost a year.
Wow.
And the company and the lawyer were just out to exploit the band rather than to like actually make a fucking.
How many times is that the story? It's like it's not even funny anymore. How often
they just want to fucking exploit them, and like there's like no real relationships. That's the problem, The problem is that, like, there's no real relationships. All they want is just... they just want to get rich off of somebody else's talent.
Yeah, I always thought a smart idea if you're an artist who's just breaking out is go find an indie label that's into exactly what you're doing, like, who cares about that shit, like someone who their heart and soul is whatever stupid genre of music you're doing is. Like, instead of going to one of these, like, soulless companies owned by, like, a manager or an agent or or one of the, like, monopolies, like, the fuck, dude? Mm-hmm. Like, just, try to, like, bootstrap it. Go as small as possible.
Like, yeah. Well, I mean, they asked for money. It was nothing. Like, they went down to 1,000. Fucking lawyer was like, no. They went down to 500. No. And at the end, it was like, can we at least have fucking money to go home? Like, a plane, like, like plane fare.
Right.
That was a no. So, they get their way back to San Francisco. And they just stick to small gigs. They're like, fuck it, we're just going to stay in San Francisco and do small gigs. And this is coming from, I think Mainstream was in Chicago.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's fucked up.
So they keep performing here in California.
Right.
And they're fucking grinding hard as fuck. Their reputation is going, they're going. They get asked to play at the Monterey International Pop Festival. So the thing is that what you mentioned, right?
Yeah. That's what really breaks them.
67.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, exactly. This is a historic event at the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the first pop festival ever been held in Monterey, and then it becomes like a somewhat of a standard, no? It becomes a thing.
Right. And this is this rock, like this festival predates Woodstock.
Yeah, this is like the precursor to Woodstock almost.
You have, I think the Mamas and the Papas played this type of shit. Lou Adler. It was a little like jazzy with some rock and roll to it. It wasn't like your normal like
rock festival
pop shit. That was it wasn't your regular like on the radio type music. It was a little like some of the weirder acts and stuff in California.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
guess.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but so it was held on June 16th through the 18th in '67, which is the beginning of what is known now as the Summer of Love.
Oh yeah,
'67,
yeah.
The Summer of Love. So we had the Mamas and the Papas, the Association, the Who, the Byrds, Paul Butterfield Blues Band, Scott McKenzie, Canned Heat. I've heard of Canned Heat. Buffalo Springfield, Johnny Rivers, Electric Flag, The Animals, Simon and Garfunkel.
And this is all at the Monterey Festival?
And then you had the up and coming band. Right, and these are all like not the headliners, but I'm guessing if this was like in separate stages. These were all like the big bands, like the big like knowns, and then you had all the local San Francisco bands, the feature bands,
Right.
and you had Jefferson Airplane, Country Joe and the Fish, the Grateful Dead, Steve Miller Band, Quicksilver Messenger Service, Moby Grape.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. So yeah. So there's some up and comers.
You also had dude. You also had Lou Rawls, Otis Redding. The Marquez.
She was inspired by Otis Redding at that fucking at that festival, dude. She fell in love with Otis Redding.
That's where it is.
How could you not? Yeah, that's where she first sees him. Yeah, and like, yeah, how could you not? They have a similar style of performance and singing. They got that howl in them, you know. They howl and they wail and shit. It's great.
It's that pain that comes out through blues, man. Yeah,
they really channel it, you know. Shit. Yeah, you could hear the hurt and fucking. You could hear her scream, you know. Shit, she really channeled her pain into that shit.
Oh yeah.
So that festival is what really skyrockets them to stardom, though, right? Like that's what gives them most of their clout. That's when Columbia signs them, I believe.
And yeah, Mazzy, this festival isn't really talked about. Like, it's a pretty diverse fucking festival. Like, this is the type of shit that happens now. Yeah. And that you have like rap with fucking heavy metal in some places and some like electronica and shit. Most of the times, you really didn't even have that like in the 80s and shit. Everything was kind of segregated in music again.
Man, there needs to be another like legendary music festival. But what would be there today? Yeah, but like some bullshit, dude. Like some mumble rap shit, probably.
Woodstock '90s sucked.
Oh yeah, dude, that thing was a miserable failure.
Pieces of shit.
If there's any fucking proof that rock was dying, it's that Woodstock Part 2. All right, so so what happens after the festival? I know they sign with Columbia. They start getting pretty well known. And I just wanted to mention that in '67 they played with like Jimi Hendrix, Buddy Guy, Joni Mitchell, Richie Havens, all these people at the wake for Martin Luther King. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, this was a huge breakout. This was a breakout that shot up two like major entities in the rock and roll music that we know, which was Jimi Hendrix and Big Brother, which is mostly like Janis Joplin is the one that stands out the most from Big Brother and the Holding Company. Oh yeah, for sure. Although, but you know what? I gotta say this to their credit, they're actually pretty talented though. Their music's good. And it complements her voice extremely well. They both complement each other extremely well. Mm-hmm. The fact that on her other bands, members from from Big Brother and the Holding Company made it out with her, like should say something. And then it seems like there was never any ill will with the bands. It never seems like they ended up like hating each other or anything. Like I don't know. It seems like there's a good relationship between that band and her. Yeah, but because she says that when she joined, she felt at home. Like that's where it was. That was it. Yeah, but she's definitely the standout. There's no way around it. Like she makes that band. But their music's good. Like I heard their music, and I was expecting like when I was like I figured her solo work was where she really shined. But actually, a ton of her best tracks come out of the Big Brother and the Holding Company years. Yeah, you hear that song fucking ball. Yeah, like Ball and Chain. Like, fucking guitar is just electrifying in that shit.
Piece of my heart. I need a man to
Which one is the
love.
one
Summertime, dude. Summertime's Dub. Oh, you said Cosmic. That's what the last band, right? But I have that somewhere.
Yeah. But we'll save that for later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because that's a badass fucking song.
Oh, for sure, no doubt.
So, Big Brother was they were supposed to be. They only have one appearance during the festival, but her performance was fucking electrifying. That the audience wanted her again.
Oh yeah, she basically got an encore.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is what you were talking about, where they weren't recorded, but the second time around they had to be recorded just because it was that fucking like that out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is in Bob Dylan's the guy who made Bob Dylan's documentary also does this Monterey Pop fucking documentary.
Oh wow.
And she's on it.
So I think the deal was that it was supposed to be this like, this hippie love festival. So like it was going to be all the musicians were going to play for free. But then people wanted to charge them to record them. People brought a whole bunch of camera equipment and basically tried to make money off the musicians. Like musicians are so exploited, dude. Like musicians will do anything for exposure, and there's a whole like soul sucking like industry built around surrounding them and taking their money. This is some shit to me.
That's some pieces of shit, right?
Yep, definitely.
But after this, I mean, this is where they get signed to Columbia Records.
Yep, they saw their potential.
Dylan was one of his clients.
Oh wow, that's awesome. See, it makes sense. They came up together pretty much, dude.
Right. And this is where Cheap Thrills gets recorded.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where
Late
Cheap Thrills.
67, early 68.
And that album is the shit, dude. That album is so dope. I cannot recommend that album enough. This is like I heard the whole thing all the way through, and I couldn't stop myself, dude. Like it's really good.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, same here. This fucking song that's playing right now is just a fucking powerhouse, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked this song, but it's not even her best, dude. It's just like her most well known. Like she has so many other standouts. I really like Summertime, dude. I heard her version of Summertime, dude. Like, and I'm like, oh man, like that was good. Ball and Chain will never fuck it. Like that's dope.
Those two, those are both names of Sublime songs.
Which one's Ball and Chain and a Summertime? Yeah, because it's the same Summertime. It's the same Summertime. It's the cover of that jazz standard. Summertime. She does it a little like way more bluesy, way more dissonant, but she also serves it justice, dude.
Yeah. Okay, I haven't heard her.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, dude. She. I mean, I know this is a cliche to say on the show, but already one of my favorite artists. Already, like instantly overnight.
Yeah, dude. I fell in love with a lot of her music.
Yeah, dude. And then I watched tons of like interviews with her, and dude. I watched a ton of interviews with her, and it's addicting to watch her, dude. Like she, like going back to that charisma thing, dude. Like she's fun to like talk to. You could tell. She just has a good personality.
Yeah, I thought she was cute, man.
So do I, dude. I think she's adorable, dude. Like I could just listen to her talk all day. She just has a good personality.
And she was out there kind of like just like Jimi Hendrix. They were like real fucking bright colors, and they just stood out. They were showmanship at its finest.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure, yeah.
It's that charisma.
If only instead of dying they hooked up and had a baby, dude, and then that baby went on to like take over the world with their rock band. Could you imagine, dude? If I had to breed two musicians, those are the two musicians I would breed. Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin.
And Hendrix?
Yeah, and then just see what happens. Put them in a test tube, dude. So, okay, so we're at Cheap Thrills now, right? Now, Cheap Thrills goes gold like overnight because now they're on Columbia. Now they have all that clout from the pop festival. So from here, they basically their album goes gold in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, motherfuckers! I'm so mad.
Yeah, because I mean, nobody had ever seen anything like her live.
Definitely true.
She was a fucking entity on its own.
They say the same thing about her that they said about Jimi Hendrix, which is that people would watch her with their just jaw wide open, like just shocked. Even famous people like Mama Cass from the Mamas and the Papas saw her play, and the whole time just had her mouth wide open at the pop festival. So it's like, that's how it is, man. Like, she
I can just imagine.
Yeah, she's just automatically impressive.
I want to point out that she had the dopest name for the fucking album.
What?
Which was Dope, Sex, and Cheap Thrills.
Oh man, that is a good name. And what did that get like hacked apart by somebody?
Oh yeah, that was shut down so quick. And they're like, Cheap Thrills is what's like marketable at that time, you know?
Man, that's a bummer. Yeah, because like,
right.
Yeah, because if you try to release an album with that name today, you'd get away with it. But back then, on a Columbia album, yeah, good luck. Good luck on that one.
Dope, Sex, and Cheap Thrills
would have been way better of a name, and would have fit her character so much more. So let's see. What about her first television performance? Am I rushing that to talk about her first television performance on the Dick Cavett show?
Well, it was like they were trying to like get her. They were trying to make Janis Joplin a standout. So on live billings, it was put as Janis Joplin with Big Brother in the holding cup.
Yeah, that's right. She started to get like full top billing, and who could blame you? Who could blame her, right? She deserved it.
Yeah, they started referring to the group as Janis and the Band.
Yeah,
it's kind of fucked up, right?
Yeah, that's fucked up for sure. But like, I get it. Like, you know, she had more talent than Gwen Stefani, and Gwen Stefani got that fucking front girl status for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Like Janis Joplin deserved it, but I don't know, dude. I'm serious though. Like, I mean, like Gwen Stefani's good, but
no, that is a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, for sure, agreed. But then, so why did she get like a breakout solo career that I think is undeserved? Then, just because she was cute? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't.
She was that also. This goes along with like the kind of like rock and roll chick. You know, we didn't have anything.
That was the '90s generation rock and roll chick, right? I think that's what you're getting at,
then we
right?
get Amy Winehouse after. Yeah.
Oh, dude, Amy Winehouse would beat the shit out of Gwen Stefani, dude. Because even though Amy Winehouse only weighs like 60 pounds, she's crazy.
But so was Gwen Stefani, from what I hear.
Yeah, I hear she ain't no hollaback girl, so. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, dude, that shit's bananas. So, what did Joplin do, though? I don't know.
Well, Cheap Thrills was such a success, it held its own against other fucking bands that you would think, like, this is a new band, their first fucking album, you feel me? And they held their own with the White Album, Beatles' White Album, which is arguably one of the best Beatles albums.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's hard to say. Beatles have like so many different styles. It's like highly personal what your favorite Beatles album is. That's what I think.
Yeah, I like the Beatles. Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix, another badass fucking album.
Yeah, dude.
And then you got Cream's Wheel of Fire. So I mean, she was up there with, you know.
Yeah, with the greats already.
That was pretty. Yeah, with motherfuckers that were heavy hitters at this time already.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just exploded onto the scene, dude. Just
with,
like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, but just like everything, you know, with all the fucking success and all this pressure, some shit happens. Ego conflicts, feelings get hurt, increase in drug and alcohol use. You know, more money on some ends. Big Brother breaks up.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
She did have a fragile emotional state, so there's some shit that must have been said.
A lot of people were pushing her toward that, dude. She had so many people pushing her toward a solo career that it was going to happen, dude. Mm-hmm. It was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah. And so that they break up in this is a little bit after, like, this is like really like a little bit after the fucking album is released, you know?
Yeah.
The album is recorded like early '68.
Yeah.
The last time they're together is December of '68.
Well, they have some performances, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing I see that October 1968 is where they performed their last live show, I think, aside from two 1970 reunions.
Well, I see that they made their final appearance in '68.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I don't know.
So that's it, though. Yeah, that's it, though. Like that's after '68, they basically break up. Let's go into her solo career then, dude. Like, let's do it.
Right. But before the solo career, like, it's kind of evident that she's drinking a lot and doing a lot of fucking drugs at this time.
Yeah. She's gotten back into drugs by this point. She tried pretty hard to stay sober, but I mean, I guess again that it's that temptation. It's hard to be around that lifestyle and expect yourself to stay clean.
I think this is Cosmic Blues, right? This is when she goes solo.
Yeah, with the Cosmic Blues Band. Yeah, and they're an eclectic, like they're like a collection of musicians from different places that she knows. New band, she's got horns in there. It's it's a little more orchestrated, and she's got a guitarist, a couple. I think people from the holding company, a couple from Big Brother. She's got at least a guitarist. I know that. Like the Cosmic Blues Band is almost like Band of Gypsies, dude. Like it's just like stuff like a hodgepodge of people.
Right. A couple other musicians, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And
so then.
Oh no, I was just saying, and then they all complement her voice really well. So it's more or less, it's a fucking solo act, really. It's fucking really just Janis Joplin. I mean, their first album is named Pearl, right?
Which is her nickname.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
because they were known as
Janis
Joplin and her Cosmic Blues Band.
I see. Right. Yeah, there you go. She's always got the top billing, dude. See, she's the Jimi Hendrix experience. It's so crazy how much she parallels Jimi Hendrix. I didn't expect it to be that way, dude. But both died at 27. They both became bigger than the people they toured with. Like, both were obsessed. Like, I don't know. Both had a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Just fuck, man. The parallel is crazy. That's all. It's just nuts to me.
And the amount of drug and alcohol use to cope with whatever they were going through.
Yeah, that too. That's
pretty much their demise at the end. So they become known as Janis Joplin and the Cosmic Blues Band.
Yep.
And they go on the road, which was her only European tour ever.
Oh yeah,
she
complained about her European tour. She had this thing about the European tour. Well, yeah, she said that thing that the European tour that she was on the Dick Cavett show, I believe, again, or with someone, I forgot who, in an interview. She said that that in the UK they don't get down, that they don't move their body in the music, and like she found it hard to get into
bunch
performing.
Of fucking wankers.
Yeah, exactly. You know how it is. They're a little stiff. So she complained about that a bit.
Yeah, well, this was but they did do a festival out there, right? It was a Newport '69 Pop Festival.
Oh yeah, what year is this?
The Atlanta Pop Festival.
What year is
69.
this? 69. Okay, cool.
And then they do Woodstock in '69 as well, though.
Yeah, and Woodstock.
No, is that the Woodstock with everybody?
That's the Woodstock with everybody, dude. And a lot of people, some people don't know that she was there because, well, she's kind of a perfectionist. She had her performance stripped from the Woodstock reel for a lot of the people who owned the footage. She was like insistent upon it. She didn't want her footage on. So like on a lot of Woodstock footage you find, the best thing you can find is her walking with one of her the groupies of her group. That was a girl she dated, actually. I forgot her name. It's somewhere in here. But because basically they came on and they weren't going to play for 8 hours, so she started doing heroin and drinking Southern Comfort, waiting for herself to go on. And when she went on, she was pretty messed up. She pulled an Amy Winehouse. Or maybe Amy Winehouse was pulling Janis Joplin's. But so she was really disappointed with her performance at Woodstock. But everyone said it was still electrifying. Like that Janis Joplin doesn't have an off mode. So that she really fought really well through the high and through the drunkenness and through the sloppiness. She still was amazing to watch.
Yeah, and from what I'm from the notes I got, it's pretty much just a read through. There's no real big info on her.
Yeah,
Woodstock,
I think it's mostly because of that. I think.
Is it kind of the same thing on your end?
Yeah. Basically, no one has too much to say about her, other than the fact that she was really high on stage. But
Yeah. You read Santana shit about Woodstock, and he'll tell you, you know, there's like a big chunk of like what went down for them.
Yeah, dude.
You read Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix was pumped full of drugs.
Woodstock was
Jimi Hendrix must have been high on some fucking amphetamines, dude. Because he was up 3 days. Everybody was high on something. And it was one of the best musical events of all time. So it just tells you something about the nature of the relationship of drugs and music.
Same year, it is in October of '69. They released the album "I Got Them Old Cosmic Blues Again, Mama," which earned the gold record status. Unfortunately, though, they only lasted for about a year.
Wow, so she didn't stay together with that band even too long. Yeah, because I know there's eventually she has a completely other band, right? She gets another, like, through her solo career, she like rotates a couple bands, no? If my understanding is
she has just
accurate.
pretty much backing bands. I think her full on, like, I was in a band type shit was Big Brother and the Holding Company, and that was Big Brother and the Holding Company. It wasn't Janis Joplin and Big Brother. It was Big Brother and the Holding Company. I think purposefully, this isn't anywhere, but I think they wanted her to get out of the band because they wanted to exploit her. This is just how I feel about fucking record companies in the record industry. I think that they like purposefully put her out there, took like pictures of her without the band to kind of inflate the fact that that she would go solo, and that was, I think they do that type of shit to piss off the other band members, you know, to kind of like start off a fire where there shouldn't be a fire.
I know what you're saying. And then also to like just to snipe the talent, dude, because they basically came and cherry picked her from the band, dude, like knowing that they didn't really need the rest of the band with that talent.
You know, System of a Down is one of my favorite fucking bands, and I remember reading this interview they had with Serge Tankian, right, the singer, and he was talking about how they don't do photo shoots by themselves. Like he said, if he'd get a call and be like, a photo shoot with System of a Down, like, when can you come in?
Right.
And they'd only be calling him, and he's like, you know, well, what time is everybody else going to show up? Oh, we're just calling you. Well, it's not a fucking photo shoot with System of a Down. You know? You're asking for the band, like a fucking band.
Purposely trying to make him a front man to like throw salt in their shit, dude, in their operation.
Yeah, like, oh, this is why you guys are right. And I feel like that's what a lot of these industries do. Sometimes it might be to push out the other ones and just take your golden child. It might, you know. I think that's what happened with Big Brother and the Holding Company, to be honest, because she felt at home in that band, you know, and I don't think she was the type of person to like fucking become egotistic and just say fuck you guys.
Yeah, she still played with one of the guitarists basically, like, I think through the rest of her career. So and I don't know, she seemed to have a good relationship with everyone, so I don't know, there doesn't seem to be much animosity when you look into it. So
but she does do a reunion tour with them,
right? She does that in the 70s, right? Yeah.
April of 1970, they do a reunion concert in San Francisco. And this is when she's forming the new band, the one you were talking about, Full Tilt Boogie Band.
Yeah, the Full Tilt Boogie Band. That's the one I'm thinking of, yeah. It's got some ridiculous band names. Those are like such fucking 70s band names.
This is the band that recorded Pearl.
Yeah, okay, this is the band that recorded Pearl. Mazzy had said something about it. Oh, yeah, that album Pearl is like 122nd, I think, on the greatest albums of all time on the Rolling Stone list. Let me see what it is. Yeah, 122nd. Oh, just a couple other just random facts. In 2005, she won a Grammy Lifetime Achievement. In 1971, she was nominated and lost 2 awards: Best Pop Vocal Performance and Pearl lost for Best Album to Carole King's Tapestry. Carole King's a pretty good artist. Yeah, she lost to Carole King for her.
Crazy little fact about Woodstock, though. Just crazy little fact about Woodstock. She was paid $7,500 for that performance, and the tickets at that time were $8, man.
Oh wow, dude! Wow. And it really puts it in perspective.
Yeah, $18 for 3.
Wow, dude! I wish I could. I mean, I'm sure with inflation, that's the same shit you pay for tickets now, though. Me and Bobby McGee was her standout song. So wait, so there's a song, Me and Bobby McGee.
Me and Bobby.
But
I thought it was Me and Bobby McGee.
McGee. I like how the Grammys gives people lifetime achievements like 20 years after they're dead. Like, oh, I guess they were good after all. Now that they've stood the test of time, it's like
oh shit, she's dead. Let's give her a lifetime achievement award.
But dude, it's always like insultingly long after, like 20 years after. Like, what, they weren't good 20 years ago when they died? Maybe it's in bad taste to do a best dead artist of the year. Oh yeah, that's $127.
The 3-day pass was correct.
That's a lot of money with him.
Yeah, and 3-day pass for $18 is now it's 100. But a fucking 3-day pass now is 300 and something.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we on this timeline with?
Around 1970, we mentioned that thing where she paid that. She paid for that. What do you call it? Tombstone for Bessie Smith.
Okay. Right.
At her previously unnamed grave, and they got that put up. That's she's kind of here. She actually donated to a lot of charity, like that other dead diva who was like on a whole bunch of drugs that we know. What else did she do around this time?
Well, this time it appears that she quit using drugs. She was still drinking, but she wasn't doing drugs. And everybody said that this band was a little more professional. Like, they showed a little more professionalism. Like I said, it seemed like she had quit using drugs completely.
Yeah.
And she felt herself that she had finally landed on a band like that reflected her vocal style to 100%. I guess this is why Pearl is one of like those big albums, like.
Yeah.
But she was never really completely free from drugs, and
yeah,
and the alcohol kept getting worse, and then
yeah, that's what I heard. When she quit the heroin, she just basically doubled down on the alcohol.
Yeah, but then we're getting to this part. If October 4th of 1970. Have I skipped over a lot? I mean, we got the
no, I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered everything. So you're saying we're going to the death day, right?
Yeah, this is October 4th, 1970. The 4 days after today is 4 days after her death anniversary.
That's true.
Which makes her our honorary guest of this week's Death in Music.
That's right.
And she has a sudden an accidental overdose.
Yeah, dude,
at the Hollywood Motel, the Landmark Hotel.
Dude, this is that thing that always happens, dude. Is that someone gets clean for a long time, then when they relapse, they use their old dose, and then that's it. Boom, overdose. Although she had,
that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah. But she had a letter that she was composing to her family. That almost reads like a suicide note, but it doesn't, because it's talking about her future success and how no one wants her to be more successful than her and all this stuff, right? And like it's kind of funny how but it ended up being a suicide note. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It unintentionally, just by happenstance. Yeah, Liz, that's her right there. I mean, it's a picture of her singing. She's not dead in that picture. It's just a old fucking low res ass picture from a newspaper.
So this is her body's found at the Landmark Hotel, and apparently she had been drinking all fucking night, and there was some drug use, and
dude, you don't combine liquor with opiates. I don't know why people do that shit. Like, you're asking for it.
2 downers, yeah, man.
Yeah.
2 fucking downers. They say the condition of her body and her state of dress generated a great deal of speculation. She was only wearing underwear, and her body was wedged between the bed and the nightstand with a cigarette in her hand.
Oh, shit.
Needle marks in her arms, her lips and nose were bloody, and $4.50 of change were in one of her hands. Pretty fucked up way to get found dead, right? A fucking heroin overdose.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
You ever seen somebody nodding off from heroin?
Not on heroin. I've nodded off myself on weaker opiates, but like, I imagine on heroin, it's like you just basically you might as well be asleep. Like, at that point,
nodding off is a bitch,
dude. I know.
Man.
Like you're trying to stay awake, and then like you start like having like super vivid daydreams. And then you're like, oh shit, where am I?
Oh fuck!
And then you do it again. Like,
have you ever just looked at like your phone and you saw like it was a certain hour, and then you nod off, which feels like
feels like a few seconds.
You're just like, what the fuck? And you look back at your phone.
It's been like 15 minutes.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You're like, what the fuck? There's like a puddle of drool like right under you.
Yeah, dude. But
like,
that's like, those are like the best naps in the world, though, dude. But dude, that's why.
Glasses and loud headphones. Baby.
I don't get heroin though, because the people who nod on heroin, they must nod off for like hours, dude, and it's like not worth it. Not worth it. How could that be fun?
Yeah, I haven't. I've only done.
That's overboard to me.
Low level opioids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just that amount of going down. What's appealing of that? I don't know. Some people want that experience, I guess. What? There was this movie I watched a long time ago. It was with like Halle Berry and I think like John Leguizamo. I don't know, but it was like about heroin addicts. They were like ex-addicts, and I think the best way I've ever heard it explained was through there. And it's like the first time you do it, it's like the kiss of God. Mm-hmm. Right, and then like after that first high, you're always chasing it.
Yeah, that's what they call that, chasing the dragon, right? Like
just chasing it.
You never get that same high again.
You never find it.
Yeah, but you just keep trying.
But my thing is like, what if it's like you do it and then you don't do it for like 10 years and then you do it again? You're like, I don't know. You get addicted, so I guess you never find that out. But
yeah, so if you wait it out, but yeah, I guess you can't. And well, who found her?
Oh, yeah.
There is a thing about that.
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you something crazy that I have here.
What's that?
Her last recording was a birthday greeting for John Lennon.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's the last time she appeared on film.
Well, listen, and this was completed around the time she completes Mercedes-Benz.
Wow.
On October 1st, she recorded the old Dave Evans cowboy tune "Happy Trails" for John Lennon, and which the lyrics are "Happy trails to you till we meet again."
Yeah,
and the
dude.
tune was titled "Happy Birthday, John. Happy Trails." Now listen, was on with Dick Cavett, and he said that her like the like creepiness, like the weirdness, I guess, about it was that he gets the greeting a little bit after she had passed away.
Yeah, like right after she dies.
She sent it, but he gets it after she has passed, and it's kind of eerie that like the track in there's "Happy Trails to you till we meet again." It's like a kind of like if we're not gonna see each other ever again, until we meet again.
Yeah.
Then this motherfucker gets killed.
Yeah, that's what that song usually implies. That song usually means goodbye forever. Like that's what the context is. So like that's pretty interesting. And just a really quick thing from Mazzy here that or no, it was Liz. Yeah, that I believe it was her manager who what do you call it? Who found her dead?
Found her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so John
trying to get a hold of her and they couldn't anymore.
John Lennon died with a wife, Yoko Ono. Oh yeah, he did die with a wife. There's one.
Yeah.
And he was assassinated, dude, which is like some bullshit. He like John Lennon, by all accounts, should have died from heroin, just like everyone else, but he died from being shot by some random idiot. Like that's the most random way to go.
Laying in his fucking bed like a weirdo.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I don't love John Lennon so much. I feel like John Lennon is a blowhard who's full of himself, dude. He's also a pathological liar by the accounts of many, many people. Like, the more I learn about John Lennon, the less I like him. Like, because he abandoned his son and one of his wives, and it's like, tomorrow's John Lennon. Oh, yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's John Lennon's birthday. I mean, respect to John Lennon. He's a musical legend.
No, I just gotta remember I was mentioning earlier the Jim Morrison stuff.
Yeah.
And it was he fell in love with this woman. She knocked his ass out, like busted a fucking bottle of Southern Comfort over his head, which she fucking loved Southern Comfort. got a mink coat from Southern Comfort for all her drinking and her promotion, subliminal promotion, I guess. Like she didn't put it out there, but she made the sales go up because that's how she drank.
Right.
But he loved that shit so much that he asked his producer Paul Rothschild for her phone number, and she had no intent to ever meet this motherfucker again. And they never did it. And so, and it was reported that he was actually heartbroken about that.
That's pretty funny.
You know? So I like that she was such a tough bitch that, you know, Jim Morrison was a motherfucker that could get his dick sucked by anybody, but Janis Joplin was like, nope.
Damn, dude.
Mm-mm.
Man, that's like the one. That's the one that would get away. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's like how George Harrison fell in love with Eric Clapton's wife. It's like the one you can't get. You know? Yeah, he eventually fucking got her too, dude.
Did he?
Or no, wait, no, it's the other way around. Eric Clapton fell in love with George Harrison's wife, and like, it's like the one woman he couldn't get because it was a wife of a fucking Beatle. But basically, like, he wrote a bunch of songs about Layla. Layla is about George Harrison's wife.
And then he gets cancer.
I know, dude. Eric Clapton steals your chick, then you get cancer. That's not cool. That is not cool.
Yeah. Eric Clapton, fuck you for that.
Yeah.
But good on. I mean, you know, you're still.
All right, so I'm looking at influence. I'm seeing like she had a whole bunch of posthumous releases. Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. She had whatchamacallit? She had there's something I had in here I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, she had several documentaries made about her. There was a biopic made that they were going to make about her, but they couldn't get all the rights, so they had to heavily fictionalize it. But I think it's actually, and they were going to call it Pearl, and they ended up calling it something else. But it's halfway about her life. Sexuality and Relationships. I wanted to cover that really quick because Janis Joplin got around, man. Like there were people who said
she's a free spirit.
There were people. Look, this guy Kim Francis in a New York Times article, he references her being a sexual predator with a bottle of Southern Comfort. That like she would hang around bars and like pick up men and women and take them home and fuck them like she was a dude. I think she's just I think she's just a transsexual dude. I think she's got that boy gene in there somewhere.
The Me Too movement would have affected Janis Joplin.
Yeah, dude. There'd probably be a bunch of people who came and said she date raped them today. When that used to just be called being a rock star.
Southern Comfort.
Yeah, dude. Well,
right. I fucked a rock star. I was a groupie.
Yeah, dude. She had a groupie. Right. She was a long time like. There's a song. Yeah, there's a song called or a book called "Going Down with Janis" because "Going Down" is one of Janis Joplin's songs. So, it's a pun, and that's about one of her like groupies who. But like one of her groupies who was basically she had like a pretty much on again off again like lesbian relationship with. She was quoted as saying to tell everyone from her hometown that she's not a dyke. That if she's a dyke, then how come she's also slept with equally as many men? She's like, what are they going to say about that? And it's like, well, yeah, she was bisexual. She got around and she just liked to fuck. So, you know, how can you hate on that?
I mean, you know, she probably likes to just get that shit. You know, that's all it is.
Yeah, can't blame her.
Rockstar, man.
You got to do something when you're on all that meth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they would blow a couple guys, you know. I mean,
yeah, dude.
Pretty sure
drugs change a person. Meth is a hell of a drug.
And being a rock star.
Yeah, dude, those should not be combined. You're just asking for trouble.
No.
So, I think we've more or less covered it, though, huh?
Yeah, I think we got what we needed from this lovely woman when we both weren't so familiar with until now.
Yeah, dude, she's kind of obscure for as far as legends go, and then now that I got into her, man, dude, it totally stoked my fire for her. Like I like her; she's super talented.
Like we've made it a thing at the end of every one of these segments. We give people their titles that we give them ourselves. So. Janis Joplin, what can we say about her?
Damn, I mean, I guess she's just the pearl of rock and roll. You know what I mean, dude? Like the fucking like in a sense, like you know this. I mean, because I don't know, it might be too simple to say, but it's like she's this thing made by being covered by abrasiveness. You know what I mean? That came out like super smooth and beautiful. You know, it's a little too on the nose, but
you know what? 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like you could see why she was called that, basically. You know what I mean? Like, because she's this product of abrasion, like of roughness, you know? And yeah, like, it's like you said that in one of our other episodes about how pressure produces diamonds. It's that kind of thing. She's a gem from having gone through this, like, crazy, chaotic life.
Correct. Yeah.
So Pearl is very fitting.
So we have it then.
Yeah, I think so.
The Pearl of rock and roll.
Yeah, dude.
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin. Jesus, man.
We got to be writing these down.
I'll go through them. You know what? Something I'm going to be doing is going through all the episodes and putting in the closed captions, because they search engine optimize the content, because when people search for some of the words, it directs them to the YouTube page. So as I do, you can translate it too. Then you can translate it and put it on other like in other countries in YouTube. But so as I go through them, I'll collect them all. I'll put them in a master list. Oh, and we got a Reddit now. I don't know if I told you about this. We have a subreddit. Everyone should visit that /r/death-in-music. So I can make you a moderator, Ellie, if you want to register to that. And then I'm posting new episodes in there too. And then that way we can get some of the community there who wants to go and discuss or anything. So everyone can keep that.
Oh, that's perfect, man.
Yeah. So perfect. More and more stuff. Mazzy, I'm gonna put my sister in an actual physical credit thing at the end of the show from now on, so I can stop saying it every episode. But yeah, Sarah, thanks for the donation once again.
Thank you, Sarah. Always thank you.
Yeah, and thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was a really, really fun one to do.
Yeah.
And should we?
Everybody listening.
Yeah, for sure. Should we announce what we're gonna do for episode 10? Because in 2 weeks,
episode 10.
Yeah, we're gonna do an on-location thing for episode 10 in 2 weeks.
Bro, that's next week.
Well, no, because that's what I was saying. We should do a filler episode so we can do a test run first. Because now I got the mixer. I'm gonna have the mixer soon.
Well, Janis Joplin made us number 9, so number 10.
Well, let's do something like a filler.
Just, hold off an extra one.
Oh yeah, or we could just rein it out. We could do a hiatus and we'll take a vacation for a week while we just hype the next show, because I really want to do the test first. Because I know if we go out there to do it live and we don't have the right equipment and we find out the day of, well, all it's going to do is set us back a week anyway, so we could give it a shot.
Right.
But it would be nice to have the 2 weeks runway to announce it and get all our friends there and shit.
Okay. So yeah, we're working on that. Let's not release who we're gonna do for episode 10.
Okay.
Just yet. It's one of my favorite artists here.
Same here.
But so it's gonna be a good episode. We're gonna try to do it like, even though this is live for you guys listening on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook.
We're gonna do it live,
like an in-studio type thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be on location.
Live. Yeah.
It's gonna be on location with a whole bunch of our friends, some drinks, hopefully a projector, some it's a handful of microphones. Maybe, definitely some weed.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta pay respect to the artist, so we're gonna shoot up just a little heroin, just a little.
A little heroin. Yeah. No, what's that shit that Prince died?
Oh, fentanyl?
I was gonna say that. Sorry, I'm just responding to Liz. Crack is whack. If it's not coke,
Yeah, that's true. Coke or better. Come on, we have class here. All right, a coke party is classy.
A little bit classier than that.
A crack house is not classy.
It's not. No, it's fucking scary.
All right, well, I think
coke, everybody's having fun. Crack, everybody's in the shadows.
Yeah, crack might be too much.
Yeah, so again, everybody, thank you very, very much. Banana Nanin, Cog Whistle, Commander Root, Lisa Likes to Draw, Matt Mon Gaming, Mazzy, as always, brother.
Skinny Seahorse.
Lizzie Liz, also Skinny Seahorse. Schwab Woody, that's me.
Man, there's at least like one new person in here every week. We must be doing something right.
Right. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys for making an appearance.
As always, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, now Reddit, YouTube, Twitch, at Death and Music, all one word. And I think the Reddit you said was
Death and Music, same shit, r/Death and Music,
r/Death and Music. So yeah, you guys can find us through that handle and everything. Also hit us up on sstsunami.com.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's a direct link, and sooner than later we're about to have some merch on there, just in case you guys.
Oh yeah, I still got some
new things coming out for you guys.
I just bought a whole bunch of Sea Serpent Tsunami stickers, so I'll probably be giving those away to some fans and stuff, or anyone who's interested. We'll be doing some giveaways. So,
oh yeah, please.
Yeah. So I got 150 of them. So
check out Sea Serpent.
They'll get around. Most of them are for the media pack, but the other 50 I'll start giving away.
Oh yeah. Check out Sea Serpent Tsunami. That'll be great for us. Just to always get hits on our music, something that we worked really hard on.
Check it out on Spotify. Spotify. That's where we get paid the most. So Spotify.
Yeah. And as always, keep listening to another episode of this week's Death and Music, to the Pearl of Rock and Roll, and to all the other gods that we've paid tribute to. I want to say thank you and good night. Robbie Diesel, I'll talk to you, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Ellie. Thanks, everyone in the chat. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later, guys.